Good morning, friends. You might notice that my background's a little bit different today. I'm visiting my Aunt Joan, but remember, I'm following the rules and keeping to only family members that I'm visiting. So I'm going to read chapter 4 from our Magic Treehouse book today. Chapter 4 is called Cave Kids. Jack and Annie crept to the cave and peeked inside. A small flame danced from a bed of glowing coals. Near the fire were knives, axes, and hollowed-out stones. Animal skins were neatly stacked against the wall. "People must live here," said Annie. "Maybe it's the home of the Cro-Magnons we saw," said Jack, looking around. "Let's go inside and get warm," said Annie. Jack and Annie moved quickly to the fire and warmed their hands. Their shadows danced on the stone walls. Jack pulled out his Ice Age book. He found a picture of a cave. He read, "Cro-Magnons made many things from animals, plants, and stone. They made flute-like musical instruments from mammoth bones. They made ropes by braiding plant fibers. They made axes and knives from a stone." Jack pulled out his notebook and pencil. He started a list. Cro-Magnons made bone flutes, plant ropes, stone axes, and knives. "Ta-da!" said Annie. Jack looked up. Annie was wearing a coat. It had a hood and long sleeves. It went all the way down to her sneakers. "Where did you get that?" said Jack. "From the pile of furry skins," said Annie, pointing. "These must be their clothes. Maybe they're being mended." She picked up another coat and handed it to Jack. "Try one. It's really warm," she said. Jack put his backpack and towel down on the hard dirt floor. He slipped on the coat. There they are. They look very warm in those nice mammoth coats. It did feel very warm and soft. "We look like cave kids," said Annie. Squeak! Peanut peeked out of Jack's backpack lying on the floor. "You stay in there," said Annie. "There's no teeny tiny coat for you." Peanut vanished back into the backpack. "I wonder how they made these coats," said Jack. He turned the pages in the book until he found a picture of a Cro-Magnon woman sewing. He read, "Cro-Magnons scraped reindeer skins with flint rocks to make them soft. They used bone needles to sew the skins together to create clothing." Jack added this to his list. Reindeer clothes. "I hope the cave people won't mind if we borrow their coats," said Jack. "Maybe we should give them our towels," said Annie, "to thank them." "Good idea." "And I'll leave them my goggles too," said Annie. They left their gifts on top of the rest of the animal skins. Let's explore the cave before they come home," said Jack. "It's too dark in the back," said Annie. "We won't be able to see anything." "I'll find out how the Cro-Magnons sew in the dark," said Jack. He opened the Ice Age book. He found a picture of cave people holding two odd-looking lamps. He read aloud to Annie. "Cro-Magnons made stone lamps. They hollowed out a rock filled with animal fat. Then they burned a wick made from moss." "Here," said Annie. She pointed to two stones near the fire. In the hollow of each was gooey white stuff and a pile of moss. "We have to be careful," said Jack. He picked up one stone. It was much smaller than a soup bowl, but much heavier. Jack held the stone close to the fire and lit the piece of moss. He lit another lamp and gave it to Annie. "Carry it with 2 hands," he said. "I know," she said. Jack tucked the book under his arm. He and Annie carried their stone lamps to the back of the cave. "Hey, I wonder where this goes," said Annie. She held her lamp up to an opening in the wall. "I'll check in the book," said Jack. He put down the lamp and flipped through the Ice Age book. "I think it's a tunnel," she said. "I'll be right back." "Wait a second," said Jack. Too late. She had squeezed into the opening and was gone. "Oh, brother," said Jack, sighing. He closed his book and peeked into the opening. "Come back here," he said. "No, you come here," said Annie. Her voice sounded far away. "You won't believe this." Jack picked up his lamp and book. He ducked into a small tunnel. "Wow," came Annie's voice. Jack could see the lamp flickering at the other end. Crouching down, he hurried toward her. At the end of the tunnel was a huge cavern with a high ceiling. Annie held her lamp close to the wall. "Look," she said. Her voice echoed. Animals were painted on the wall in strokes of red, black, and yellow. There were cave bears and lions and elk and reindeer, bison and woolly rhinos and mammoths. In a flickering light, the prehistoric beasts looked alive.